guys, I thought today we would do a cute and quick crochet project. And since fall is upon us and everybody is looking to the cute pumpkin decor accessories, I thought we would make this really cute little pumpkin pin cushion, which is what I'm using it for. But you can also use it as fall decor, which is why I've left this long bit here, because I think I may also use this as part of an entourage of other autumn or fall time decor pieces. So today we're going to work on this. You're going to be so excited at how easy this project is, and you can make it any which size you like. I'm going to make today's pumpkin just a smidge bigger, just so I can have a variety of different sizes. And instead of the typical orange, I am going to use this fabulous fuchsia color. This is also perfecto for using up your scraps, which is what I have here. So you will need any type of yarn that you like, prefer, or have lying around. This is a medium weight 4 yarn. Of course, you'll always need a pair of scissors on hand, and a darning needle always comes a long way into helping you sew in some ends later on. And for this project, I'm using a 5mm hook, also known as an H or a size 8. You will also need a bit of polyfill, or actually anything. You can use anything to stuff your project with. Sometimes for other stuffed items, I will use scraps of fabric, old socks or t-shirts lying around. But since I want to be able to use this as a pin cushion, or if that is your preference, I would definitely go with the polyfill. So you just need, maybe a handful of it. Okay, so let's get started. For this project, we are going to start with a cinch circle. So you'll make a loop and you'll pull a loop through and chain 1 to secure the ring. Okay. And then we're going to chain 1 more. So this is going to give us the height we need to work with half double crochet stitches. And that's what we're going to do to work into the center of our circle. So we want to yarn over, insert into the middle of the ring, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. So this will be your first half double crochet. Keep in mind that that chain 2 does count as 1. So we are going to proceed to do 6 more into the circle, which will give us a total of 8 stitches at the end. And of course, just be a little bit patient with yourself, because when we first work into a magic ring, it's as you can see, it's flopping around a bit. So just don't be in a rush and you will be fine. Once you have 8 half double crochets into your circle, you're going to take that little short tail here and you're going to cinch your circle shut. So you'll have something that looks like that. Okay, and don't be afraid to pull as tight as you need. And now what we want to do is we want to close off our circle. So we're going to find the top of that chain 2. Once you find the top of your chain 2, you're going to insert and slip stitch to close off our circle. And there we have round 1 of our pumpkin. Okay. I hope actually you guys can see this okay. I realize now on camera that the yarn is coming off a bit darker than I would have liked. So I'm going to try and adjust things as I go along, but hopefully you can see that okay. So you should have 8 stitches going all the way around. Let's move on to round 2. So for round 2, you want to chain 2. And now we want to half double crochet back into the base of that stitch. See that right there, that opening? I am going to half double crochet back into that stitch. This will now give us a total of 2 stitches placed into one. Remember, the chain 2 counts as 1. So what we're going to do into the next stitch is we're going to place 2 half double crochets into the next stitch. Now be careful because sometimes this next stitch gets lost. So it is right here, right there. So you can see the 2 loops. So we're going to do 1 half double crochet. This yarn is a bit sticky. And we do 1 more going back into the same stitch there. And that's what's going to help expand our circle. So we're increasing the number of stitches. So we will do 2 half double crochets into each stitch all the way around. And that should give us 16 stitches in total for round 2. So I'm going to do that one more time. I'm going to go into the next stitch here and do 1 half double crochet and then 1 more. And that's what we're going to do all the way around. Once you've got your 16 stitches at the end of round 2, what we want to do is we want to find the top of our chain 2 and we want to slip stitch to join. So my chain 2 is actually right there. So I'm going to insert and slip stitch to join. So there we have round 2. We're going to go on to round 3. So we're going to chain 2 again. And we are going to half double crochet again into the base of that same stitch so that we have technically 2 stitches coming out of there. And then into the next stitch, we're only going to do 1 half double crochet. Okay. In the next stitch, we will do 2 half double crochets. So there's 1 and there's 2. Then into the next stitch, we'll do 1 half double crochet. So this is going to be our pattern now for round 3. Into the next stitch, we're going to do 2 half double crochets, 1 and 2, and 1 into the next stitch. So it'll be 2, 1, 2, 1. All the way around. At the end of round 3, you should end up with 24 stitches. If you're ever unsure, make sure you count. I'm just coming up to the end of round 3, and again, I'm finding the top of my chain 2. I'm slip stitching to join. And we are going to do 1 more increase row. So every time you keep increasing your rounds, that's what helps your circle to stay flat. Okay, so we're going to do 1 more round of this. So round 4, again, we're going to chain 2. And one more time, we're going to half double crochet into the base of that same stitch. Okay. And then into the next stitch, which make sure that you don't lose this one. That's it right there. It's not this one. We're going to do 1 half double crochet. And then into the next stitch, we're going to do 1 half double crochet. So now we've done 2 individual half double crochets. And into the next stitch, we are now going to do our increase, which is 2 half double crochets. So there's 1 And there's 2. So again, into the next stitch, we're only going to do 1 half double crochet. Into the next stitch, we're going to do 1 half double crochet again, just an individual one. And then into the next one, we're going to do 2. So for this round, the pattern is 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1. So 2 into that stitch, 1 into this stitch, 1 into this stitch, 2, 1, 1, all the way around. At the end of your 4th round, you will have 32 stitches, okay? So I'm going to meet you at the end of round 4 once you've slip stitched to join, and then we're going to talk about building up the body of our little pumpkin. So our increasing rounds will be done after round 4. After you've done 4 rounds, your work will look like this. So you should be able to set it down and it should lay flat nicely. So now we're going to build the body of our work. So we will begin round 5 with chaining 2 as usual. Now for this round, there are no more increases. So we are just going to go right away into the next stitch, which is this one right here. And we're going to do a half double crochet. That first one after the slip stitch can always get hidden sometimes. And then into the very next stitch, we're going to do 1 half double crochet. And that is actually what we're going to do all the way around. So there are no increasing, no increases. And it's just 1 half double crochet into each stitch all the way around. And then we are going to do this for a total of 8 rounds. So that's 8 rounds on top of the 4 we've already done. So the first 4 rounds we did in this project were all increasing rounds. It means we increased the number of stitches. And now these next 8 rounds should all remain the same. So you should still end up with 32 stitches at the end of your 8th round of doing this. So in total, from start to the end, you will have 12 rounds altogether. So you know what to do. Do your next 8 rounds and then I'll meet you there. And we're going to talk about how our pumpkin is actually going to take shape. All right, once you've done your 8 additional rounds, your work will look something like this. So you can see it's completely curled up and created a, I guess like a bag type of shape here. So we are now ready to close up our pumpkin. Okay, so at the end here, instead of snipping off, because it was a scrap ball of yarn, I've got a bit left here. I have secured it to my yarn needle and I'm just going to leave it here. So that way at the very, very end, I'll snip it off entirely. So what I want to do now is I'm just going to set that down for a moment and we want to stuff our pumpkin here. So I'm going to take some of that polyfill and I'm just going to insert it. And it all depends on how firm or how soft you want your pumpkin to be. And I'm just going to throw that little scrap in there. Why not? Whoops. And you want it to be pretty, you don't want a lot of gaps in there. So I think that is going to be pretty good. Actually, I might just put a wee bit more. So it all depends on how firm you want your pumpkin to feel. Yeah, that's going to be good. So you just want to kind of insert that in there, just like that. So you can really see now, see again, the more you put in there, the more your work will stretch, depending again how rounded you want your pumpkin to look. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to pick up our yarn needle again. And we want to close our top shut here. So what I like to do here is I just want to pinch this in, and right across the way, around halfway there, I am going to just find a stitch right there. Whoops. And I'm going to insert and pull through. And I'm going to do this crossways. So I'll show you what I mean in a second. So I'm just pulling all of my tail through. So in my case, I happen to have a really long tail. Okay, so once you've got it crossways, and you cinch it right in like that. And then I'm going to go back in, and I'm going to do that again to secure that. Oops. There we go. So now it's starting to cinch in. So what I want to do next is I want to cinch in from the opposite sides. So I'm just going to go right about there. Again, it's not an exact science. I just want to have a general idea here. Oops. Careful that this is the other thing too. You want to make sure that your stuffing doesn't get away from you, and that you don't end up in knots like it looks like I am doing here. Okay, so once you fed it through there, see that? Then you can cinch that in, again pushing down the fill. And I just go back in again from the center to that same spot just to secure it. And really keep pushing down your fill there, because it's just going to start getting out of hand. There we go. See, so now you've snipped in two sides there, and now we go to the opposite way, and just approximately somewhere where it's somewhat centered, we're going to insert the other one and pull through. Just like that, and cinch it. Okay, and then again, we come back in to secure it and find a loop and pull it through. There we go. So now our pumpkin is sealed off. Okay. And what I'm going to do now additionally, so I've got these little four corners here, is I actually want to go to the tip of each corner, as you can see. And I'm going to bring this tip in, back in through the center. So it's just going to further kind of bunch the top in, just like a pumpkin would be. It's got that puckered look. Okay, so pull that corner in. Now that's being cinched in. And then I just go to the very next corner. Actually, I'm going to go to the opposite one. And I'm going to do the same thing. And so that's what we're going to do for the other two corners. Okay, so this is what we have right now. And the cinching up of the top was actually not why we need a long tail, just FYI, in case you're thinking, well, why did we need that long tail? We needed the extra long tail for what we're going to do next. So in order to create the little kind of puckering and the bumps, we are going to be feeding our yarn in through the center and up through the top, and then squeezing in our sides to give it that really cute pumpkin look. So since we've got this one right here, what we're going to do is we are just going to just find the center at the bottom. So remember that first circle, the magic ring right there that we cinched in. We're just going to insert our darning needle right down the center, and we want to try and come back up. You're going to feel that out a little bit. Somewhere close, whoops, right around there, to the center of where we cinched. Yeah, pretty good. And then we're just going to pull that up. So this is what's going to take some length in yarn. So just going to pull that up all the way. There we go. So we can see, and this right now can land anywhere it wants. It's the first one. And so what I want to do is I just want to start kind of pinching that in. So you can see it's creating that nice little puckered look. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go, I'm going to snug it, but I'm not going to be too tight just yet. I am going to now go down the opposite side and go back into the circle and insert again and try my best to always come back up relatively close to where I came back the last time. Careful not to stick yourself. Okay, so I'm going to pull up through there. You can see some of that fiber fill is escaping. Okay, so now we've got crisscross. Well, it's not crisscrossing yet. So see, now in my case, for this particular one, I just decided to use the same yarn, and that's again why I had the long tail from my work. But this one, you can see I actually used a contrasting yarn, and this is actually the tail here, but because I'm going to use it as a hanging ornament, I also left it. So yeah, just an FYI on that in case you're wondering. For this project, I'm keeping the same yarn, so that's why I'm using the long tail. For contrasting yarn, yeah, you want to cut off a separate piece. And I would definitely say for something this size, at least 24 inches, just to give yourself lots of leeway. Okay, so now we've got the two sides here. And again, I want to now just pull it a bit more so that it puckers a bit. See that? And so now what I'm going to do, really try and secure that. I'm now going to go crossways this way so that now we're going to start creating a crisscross effect. And again, sorry if you can't see this on camera, guys. I didn't realize that this pinky purple yarn was going to contrast so badly, but there's the center. I'm going to go back in and come back up approximately similar to where I went last time. Now don't worry if the previous groove there is starting to loosen up. That's not a problem because we're going to still do some tightening up later. So I just want to make sure that it is roughly kind of a 90-degree angle, give or take. And see, if I were to pull that now, I should say. See, now you can really see it starting to take a cool shape, but we still have a few more crisscrosses to go. I do like to pull it as I go just to start creating the shape. And now I'm going to go down that fourth side to create our crisscross here. And this is basically what you're going to do to create that pumpkin shape. Okay. So there we go. So you can see it's starting to stick a bit more as I've pulled as I've gone. There we go. So you can see. It actually looks like a cute little flower. But we want to crisscross a few more times. So now it's created these little bumps here. I would say for the most pumpkin-like effect, to crisscross across these 4 bumps as well. So I'm going to repeat that process another 4 times. And as you can see, my pumpkin is still shallow, but it is definitely slightly larger than the previous one there, okay? And of course, if you want to make a bigger pumpkin, you would make a larger beginning circle. So instead of the 4 rounds, maybe you might make 8 or 10 rounds and then work your way up from there. So that will dictate the size, the diameter, as well as the depth of your pumpkin. So go ahead and continue doing the next 4 bumps. So I've got this one coming through here. And so this one is now going to crisscross across there. And then we're going to proceed to do the other ones. And that should solidify your pumpkin shape. And there we have our pumpkin, guys. Now just for a cute little detail, I'm going to put these 2 little loops here. So all I'm doing is I am just kind of inserting anywhere I can find a spot just to create a little loop here. Just to give it a little, whoops, I don't want it to go down too much. So I'm just pulling these up just to give it a little bit of detail here. And there we go. So I'm just kind of evening them out, give or take. And then what I want to do, if I can get that guy out of the way, is I'm just going to knot these so that they stay securely. And let's do 2. Super cute. Now you can go ahead and DIY some like little leaf appliques, or the craft store has a lot of great little things you can add on here. But I wanted to keep this really simple, cute, quick, very few materials. So there you have it. There is your little mini crochet pumpkin right next to its accomplice here. I've still left this tail here because I have a few things I am going to be doing with these. So I've left an extra tail there. But there you are, gang. Another cute and quick crochet project. Fantastic for fall. Maybe you're going to use this for your Thanksgiving table, or maybe on your window ledge. Maybe you're going to use this for Halloween. In any case, I hope you had a good time working on this with me. And as always, you can always drop me a comment in the comment box just down below there if you have any questions whatsoever. I'm super happy to help you out with any questions you may have. You can always, of course, also email me directly at info@crochetcrafty.com. And don't forget to press that subscribe button so you never miss another episode. We upload every Wednesday. In the meantime, guys, make sure you have a wonderful day. Happy crocheting and take care.